Thursday? Can you give us Thursday? Yeah, that makes sense.
That's stat. But I don't know.
Anyways, this is gonna be another boring Super Bowl, I think.
I don't know. We got Saquon going for the
That-
best running
That's the
back.
only
running
person
back
I'm
season.
pulling for in this Super Bowl is for Saquon Barkley to get a ring finally.
Not AJ Brown.
No.
No. Jalen Hurts.
No.
Nick Sirianni.
No.
Fuck no.
Definitely not.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's
Get one
another-
for
okay.
Boise.
Yeah.
So 2 people.
Yeah. And
But, I mean, it would
whoever
be-
the defensive guy.
It'd be
is.
some justice for Saquon to get a Super Bowl literally the year after he leaves the Giants when they didn't want to pay him.
I mean,
but decided to pay
personally,
Daniel
if-
Jones
if,
and then
if
ended up
I'm
cutting
John
him.
Mara, as soon as if they win, Saquon gets that ring, he just goes to Joe and it's like, "Hey, you're fucking fired."
I think that clip needs to be
Everywhere?
on repeat in Canton if Saquon completes it and wins the Super Bowl and gets the Super Bowl MVP. They just need to put the MVP, the trophy, everything in Canton with just with just the clip going. Oh, I think we need him. Just let it repeat over and over again. It's like, this is how bad the Giants are, guys.
Or just play the I'll sleep a lot better at night knowing that he won't play for Philly.
It's like, I'm gonna lose sleep.
We someone should check on that
He
guy.
goes
That
to
dude
Philly.
has got some insomnia right now.
Yeah. That
He is.
dude just sat there going, come on, Taylor Swift.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The leash is so short for. I wouldn't say Daboll more than I would say Joe, whatever things like Joe Sheen or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
Whatever his name
Something
is.
like that.
Because
The
like
GM.
it's the GM. Yeah, his fucking kids know better than him. They're like, hey, draft Jaden Daniels. Like, okay, I'll try. Like, I can't do it. But I mean, yeah, that is forever. Like, that's a clip that just everyone needs. Like NFL film, because NFL Films that's who did it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
I think it was Hard.
Which
Hard
is
Knocks,
done
yeah.
by NFL Films or
Yeah.
something like that. That's on their like, not I wouldn't say blooper reel, but that's on like their.
It should be
specialty.
every
clips.
free agency. They should play this clip when it
Oh
comes
my
to
God,
free.
yeah.
Like just
These-
just
No,
play it.
like whenever
These
you're
clips
having a
have
tough
aged like
decision
milk.
about paying somebody, like if I'm that player or something, I'd be like, hey, why don't you watch this clip real quick and tell me how you feel now?
This is a clip that's
Like,
aged
hey,
like
we
milk.
really can't pay this wide receiver. You know, there are other wide receivers. And it's like, well, hold on now. Let's take a look at how the Giants thought that they rather pay a mediocre quarterback
Who they
40
don't have
fucking million,
anymore.
who they don't have anymore, $40 million, instead of a running back, $12 million. The difference is insurmountable.
a running back who had more rushing yards than that quarterback finished with passing yards probably.
That clip is
That's
aged
gotta be
about as
close.
well.
I mean, I haven't looked it up, but that feels almost correct.
Almost, yeah. That clip aged about as well as the tweet that said LeBron is 30. This fuckery ain't gonna last much longer.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, there's got to be a list of all the like things that have just
Of
aged
bad
horribly.
beats, like bad, like didn't age well.
Just aged horribly.
Yeah.
Like the Olsen twins.
That's the,
That's not saying much.
it's not, but still, I mean,
But they didn't age well.
Twins, Basil.
Twins.
Austin, it's your father. That was a good movie.
It was.
Yeah, I missed it. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine. You know, it's going to be entertaining to say. I'm not going to care about halftime. I'm sorry. Kendrick Lamar, you're great, but I don't care anymore.
I'm gonna watch just in the hopes that he plays TV off, so that he can yell mustard in the middle of the halftime show.
Do what?
I'm assuming that's a song of his,
It
and
is.
that happens in the song.
It does.
See, we don't listen
Yeah.
to Kendrick Lamar. So
I've heard quite a few of those new songs, and I do not know that one.
Here's a good one.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a great song.
I got the hoodie coming. It says mustard, like it was like 20 letters.
is it yellow?
It's not. It's gonna be black, but the label looks like the mustard label.
Like
which
the Heinz mustard
mustard?
later?
French's.
The Heinz mustard.
Heinz. Not French's. That's kind of the main one. Heinz is ketchup. French's is mustard.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
Which
I
is
don't know.
so
I don't-
weird. Isn't that crazy?
I don't pay attention to mustard.
You get Heinz mustard or do you get French's?
I get French.
You get French's.
I get Gildan.
And you get,
I get
well,
Gildan.
yeah, if you're going for spicy,
I
you
get-
ain't getting Gildan's yellow.
I get
But
spicy
if,
I go-
brown Gildan.
but if
Gray
you're getting a yellow, if you're getting a yellow mustard
it's pretty
though,
good though.
What, like Grey Poupon?
Grape Poupon
I
is pretty
honestly
good.
have never had it.
I would get it
Dijon,
just to
you
make
know
it
what?
sound-
I don't get it.
I enjoy Dijon.
I don't. I mean, yeah, but
It's like it's just a spicy
yeah,
mustard.
I go Golan's or whatever the hell it's
Yeah.
called. But for just yellow mustard, you're going French's.
Yeah.
Ketchup, you go Heinz. Mayo.
Dukes.
Okay, interesting. I don't eat mayo, so I don't give a shit.
It's not interesting. It's Dukes or nothing.
We ain't going Hellman.
South, it's Duke's, but normally, you know, the nation, I would probably say, is more Hellman's.
We go Hellman's a Miracle Whip.
There's a reason why there's a bowl game named after Dukes.
Which is just awful. But they also sponsored Will Levis, so can we really?
Well, it's because that man puts fucking mayo in his coffee.
I mean, who's that?
If you put mayo in your coffee, you're getting a mayonnaise sponsor.
Speaking of like weird sponsors, like it's that phone company like Boost Mobile that sponsors like Josh Johnson, who's been on 14 fucking teams. Like, way to turn that into something
Hey,
important.
You know, it works everywhere, just like Josh Johnson works as a backup.
Oh my god, yeah. I think he's retired though now, right? Is that correct?
I think this was his last season.
He was at Baltimore still, right?
Was he?
I think he
I
stopped in
think
Baltimore.
he was, yeah. I think still 14 fucking teams. Jesus, way to just keep it going.
At that point, do you just keep going until you reach all of them?
Yeah, but question: 14 teams. Does he have a Super Bowl?
I think he does.
If you play for 14 teams, you don't get at least one. Like you didn't
Well,
make a pit stop in New England.
to
at
be
least
fair,
once.
that's fucking luck of the draw. You know, I gotta look this up.
Like you don't stop in New England one time out of those 14 teams just to get a ring.
oh
I
shit!
don't
Oh,
think-
by the way, it's the NFL Honors is on, and Surtain got Defensive Player of the Year.
Yay.
Okay.
Did have a solid season.
Yeah.
Well, there
I didn't realize. Oh, I did remember it being on. We were talking about
there
this
weren't
as
too many
being on
front
Thursday.
seven that
Daniels
like,
took Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's
We gotta figure
pretty
that.
obvious.
I disagree with that.
Who do you think should have got it?
Bowers.
Bowers didn't lead his team to playoffs.
But you broke.
Bowers didn't lead his team to an NFC championship.
But he barely broke the record, and he also took like 3 extra games to do it.
But you broke the record that Puka broke last year, and Puka also didn't even get it.
Who got it last year? Was it QB?
Probably.
Are you guessing or?
I'm taking.
You're just guessing.
Wasn't it Stroud?
Might have been. But to be fair, he had a really good fucking year.
Yeah.
Stroud did have a really good year.
He had a really good year. But I mean,
Daniels had a good year.
You're breaking the records of the previous previous receivers that came before you, and he did it as a tight end in Vegas.
I mean, to be fair, Daniels is literally.
He
three-
did it with
If it went for those 3 turnovers, that's a completely different game.
he did it
That's
with
the
he did
game
it
you
with
play.
Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew as his quarterback.
But that's all the reason. They literally had nobody else. They were just like, hey, Brock Bowers is down there somewhere.
But they were down so bad. It's like they only had 2 people to throw to because like Jacoby Myers got his first 1,000-yard season over there.
Yeah.
Which means it was just them 2 catching the ball. Also, what the fuck was I looking up?
If Josh Johnson has a Super
There it is. Josh
Oh, yeah.
Johnson.
I was like, yeah, we got
Already so fucking
We got him on the
unforgettable.
award
sidetrack,
ceremony.
but we worked our way right back.
Not even the
And then they're
first Josh Johnson that pops up is a comedian / writer.
the comedian.
I would have thought the basketball player.
He is fun.
Wasn't there a basketball player who played for the Falcons?
Wait a minute.
Atlanta?
No,
Josh Johnson?
no,
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson.
Yeah, Joe.
ISO Joe Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no Super Bowl. He has.
Did he ever
2,
go to one?
He has 2 PFL championships.
There we go. Hey, that's all that matters right there.
I think that's the
Is that
the
Pioneer.
arena?
It's a Pioneer Football League.
What is that?
It's either Pioneer,
European?
Premier, or something like that.
No, it looks like it's when they used to have football championship subdivision. So it's like FCS or some bullshit like that. You know, like who was it? Fuck it, I can't remember. Either way, no. Now, all the teams that he's been on, he really didn't have a big shot at getting to a Super Bowl either, personally, at the time. So it's like start out with the Niners or start with the Bucks because that's where he started.
What year was that?
08 to 11. Let's be honest, they were kind of garbage around
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah, Jameis, I think.
And then he was on the Niners practice squad in 12. I think that was Kaepernick year. So had a chance. And blew it. Then he was on the Browns, so we can wipe that off.
Yep.
Then he was on the Bengals in 13. You wipe that off. Then he was back to the Niners in 14. Don't know. Then he was Then he was in 2015 alone. He was Bengals, Jets, Colts, and Bills.
Jesus.
He was fucking.
If he'd have had more years like that, he could have played for all
I feel like
32.
Deontay Johnson probably should just call him. But yo, what's it like to be on 4 teams in 1 year? What's it like to not be wanted? Anyways, and we're talking Bills 2000 pre Josh Allen, so you know that was crap.
Yeah.
And Jets, you're bottom of the barrel.
Was
And
that
then
J.P. Lossman, or was that Nathan the Great Peterman,
Probably, maybe Peterman.
or was that E.J. Manuel years?
Ooh, I think it might have been, actually. I think it's around that time. 14, I think, is when he got drafted.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore, then he was a Giant in 16, so you know that ain't happening. Then he was a Texan, which was Deshaun Watson years.
Hey.
Speaking of, we'll get to that. Then he was a Raider. No.
No.
Then he was a Redskin, so you already know they weren't doing that. Then he was a Lion, 2019, so no Dan Campbell years, so they were bottom of the barrel. Then he was a Niner in 2020 again. Man, he really likes to go back there.
Was that the year that they went and lost?
In 2020?
No, that was Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was Tampa Bay.
That was Tampa Bay's year.
Then he was a Jet again. Then he was a Raven again. Then he was a Bronco, 2022.
Yep.
Then he was a Niner again. And then he was a... Man, that fucker's been on the Niners.
So he might have went with the Niners?
I don't know, but he's been on the Niners 4 fucking times.
If the Niners would have got one, then he probably would have gotten it.
Yeah, if they would have won one, he would have gotten one.
Yeah.
Because he hit the Niners right around all those years that he would have went. Like the first time around, I think he was there before Jimmy. So it was before they went on their... What, they went 2 Super Bowls in a row with Jimmy? Lost both?
I think just one.
No, he went to 2, I'm pretty sure.
Jimmy?
Or no, he lost an NFC Championship game on one.
Yeah.
I was about to say, they went to one and went
and then
to championship.
And
Yeah,
championship.
NFC championship.
He went to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row.
Barkley
Super Bowl
won
once.
AP Player of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of figured that. It's all about MVP, though.
All right, that's before it happens. Josh Allen or Lamar.
Lamar.
Ooh, Lamar. Okay, you?
I think they'll give it to Josh Allen. I think because they've given it to Lamar the last 2 years.
We're getting participation awards now because, hey, you already have 2. Give it to somebody else. They deserve a chance.
I think they're going to just because of voter fatigue.
Well, also,
is that what they're going to do this year with the Super Bowl, too?
Well,
They're going to be like, Patrick's already got 2. Let's give Hurts 1.
Well, no, my thing is, again, like, I didn't think he earned it last year, and they gave it to him. So it's kind of like, when an ump, misses a call, and he's like, we're gonna make this one up. And
to be fair though, I think Saquon deserves it more than Josh
MVP
Allen does, though.
I agree with that, but they're not going to give it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they're not going to give it to him.
Now that he just got Offensive Player of the Year, I mean, he's a finalist.
He's a finalist.
I think so is fucking Joe Burrow too.
Yeah, Burrow had a great
year.
Great year, just couldn't win.
Just on a terrible team.
Terrible defense.
Terrible defense.
Yeah. I mean,
if I had to guess Josh Allen, and I would probably want it to be Josh Allen, I would definitely, help the old stuff. Because, I mean, like, look, he's already lost to Patrick for 4 straight playoffs. Give the guy something. He can't get over that hump. Give him something to smile about.
And his team technically got worse this year.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot more.
I think he did more.
Yeah, I feel like he did. He had a better year.
Well, they actually relied on Cook more this year,
which
and they did in the past because Cook's over/under at the start of the season for rushing touchdowns was like 4.
Yeah, that's because of the previous years he got 4 because they don't hand it to him inside.
That's what I'm saying. This year they actually used it. He had 4 touchdowns in like the first 3 games.
We're inside the 10. What do we want to call it? Quarterback sweep.
Yeah.
It's like, but James drove us all the way down here.
I think was this Cook's best season, yards and touchdowns?
I didn't stop.
Yeah, touchdowns for sure.
Regardless, they still didn't fucking use him when it counted in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is blowing my mind. I'm like, dude, he's breaking off 20-yard fucking runs.
No touches.
And you're sitting there with Ty Johnson. Like, you deserve to fucking lose. And I understand he's your passing down back, but like, who's the guy that led you down here? Like, and you know that if Ty Johnson's in, it's a fucking throw. With James Cook, now granted time-wise, you still had like a $140, so they're probably thinking more pass, but you got a $143 timeouts. A delayed handoff is definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got James in there, that makes you think about it. When you got Ty Johnson, you're like, oh, okay, they're fucking throwing this thing, and that's all I need to worry about.
Brought to you by offensive coordinator Norv Turner.
Yeah.
And they get Schottenheimer news. That was not really news. It's Dallas being Dallas.
Jesus.
Somebody had said this, and I agree with them. They are tanking for Arch.
You think so?
I think Cam Newton said it when they first when they announced that they were interviewing. Well, not even when they hired Schottenheimer. When they were interviewing Schottenheimer, he was like, "They're tanking for Arch."
Here's the deal: you tank for Arch, fire Shotty, bring in Steve Sarkisian, call it a fucking day. Don't got to pack the bags too far. Go from Austin to Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
You're not even in Dallas. You're in Arlington.
Yeah, it's like that.
Either way, doesn't
It's cheaper there. I don't know. Taxes,
more space.
the economy.
More space.
Dallas is fucking huge if you've never been.
Dallas is a giant city, so you have to be.
It is a giant city.
Island. Nice Mexican place there.
Well, if you go a few miles south, you can go to.
I know. I can go to the real one, but I wasn't driving. It was in walking distance of the hotel.
I mean, you can walk there. A lot of people do it.
A
A lot of people. Well, not as many recently, but a lot of people used to do it.
A lot of people did.
He ain't doing it much anymore.
Yeah.
Numbers are down. That's all I mean. Numbers don't lie.
I want him to give it to Saquon, but I don't think they'll give it to Saquon.
No, they won't. 1000%. That's why he got offensive player of the year. Now, if somehow it popped up and it wasn't.
When are they going to announce it? By 10 o'clock?
Well, it's 9:35, and Bro just got comeback player of the year. Which I guess, what did he come back from? Oh, his wrist injury.
I'm trying to think of who else should have gotten it, though.
Well, I know DeMar Hamlin got nominated
Sam Darnold?
again.
Again.
Yeah, I feel like Darnold resurrected a career. The man was seeing ghosts like 3 years ago, and now he's going to get a $40 million contract and led his team, at least to the playoffs and a 14-win season. And Joe Burrow couldn't even sniff,
He needed help
10
to
wins.
make the playoffs.
He had a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I would have probably liked Darnold over Joe, but, I mean, yeah, he had that little wrist injury that prevented him from throwing the football.
It happens.
Hurt me in fantasy because I drafted him, I think, like 5th round. Dumped his ass real quick.
You also drafted Jamar Chase, didn't you?
No, that was the whole took Justin instead of Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was that debacle. So I was like, hey, let's make up for it. It did not work. Hey, still made the playoffs. I think I got 4th. It's money back. Yeah, I'll take it.
Money back.
Ain't first, though. Ain't first.
Might as well be last.
Might as well be. Jesus. But.
So would you give O'Connell then the coach of the year?
Yeah,
Or do you give it to Dan?
That's a tough one.
Well, again, it's regular season award. So you can't really affect from Dan's one else in the playoffs. I'd probably say Dan.
Yeah, just because they beat the Vikings in both games.
Just because you took a franchise that was just so debilitated, like 3 years ago.
Like, always bottom of the barrel. Like, when you played the Lions, you were just like, the Lions.
Yeah, it was like they were up there with the Browns and the Jets of like, hey, who's gonna always be
Panthers.
terrible? Now, Panthers had some good years before. Panthers have been to
They had a couple.
Panthers have
been
been
to Super Bowl.
Panthers
They
have
have
been to 2 Super Bowls
Yeah.
long before the Browns haven't been to any. The only Browns team that's been to Super Bowl is when they moved to Baltimore. That's how bad they are. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the Lions were right there. It was like Browns, Jets, Lions, and now the Lions Jacksonville. They've made an AFC championship.
Blake Bortles.
But Jacksonville's also only existed since 1995.
Yeah.
All these other ones have existed for
Like ever.
more decades.
Top 5 pick the last few years.
Yeah, so it's like, in my eyes, they were there, and Dan Campbell and Jared Goff and Amon-Ra and the running backs clawed them out of that precipice to now where you're like, oh, we're worried about the Lions. Now, teams were saying like, oh, we're worried about the Jets and we're worried about the Browns. And then it was like, oh, wait, they're going to do what they normally do and fuck it up. Just fine. So it's probably them two left in the precipice of always being shit.
Which the Browns are about to get worse if Myles Garrett gets traded.
To be, I mean,
I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
The thing is, though, their dead cap hit would grow.
It's like $45 million just for him, something like
You
that.
have to find somebody that would absorb his cap hit. I don't think you can, but you might.
No, even if they trade him, though, they still have like, I think it's like 15 to 20 of dead money
They'll
go
from 30 to 45.
Now, I was watching like Rich Eisen or something like that, and they were talking about like a decent move, and this is just thinking out loud. It's like trade Myles Garrett for J.J. McCarthy and their first rounder and like probably something else. Get the young quarterback on a rookie deal. You gain a first rounder so you can do something, because this is a deep defensive class, at least on in the interior. I can't say edge presence, but you could always grab someone in free agency for that.
And then the Vikings are pretty much set with running with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, you pay Sam Darnold, and you're getting him at a little bit of a cheaper deal since of how he performed the last couple of weeks here. Like, Sam, look, you had 50 in the bag, but after these last 3 games, like, we're gonna have to bring that number down. Or personally, I would even say,
get your Myles Garrett if you bring it down.
I'd give him a Jordan Love year. I'd be like, hey, I got to see if this is legit or if you just had a flash in the pan. Give him like a Jordan Love contract, 2 years, like $50 million with the second year non-guaranteed, and then you can work a contract out after. Like, just see if it's a flat. Like, just see.
It's a prove it or move on. Yeah,
exactly.
Prove or move.
Because then, if you're the Vikings and it's not there, then okay, guess what? Better draft class coming up from the QB ranks. And again, I can't say if J.J. McCarthy is going to be wow, but Sam Darnold works in the system, so you might as well just do it, in my opinion. But,
and you bring him some more weapons on the defensive side, because offensively, I don't need a lot.
Oh, if you get Brian Flores, fucking Myles Garrett, Jesus, and he blitzes enough already. Those linebackers are going to be so.
Yeah, Van Ginkel had one of his best years this year.
Van Ginkel.
I love Van Ginkel.
He's a person.
It's one of my favorite football
He
names.
does things.
He does. This was one of his best seasons. I mean, he made a Pro Bowl. Mm-hmm. It's not saying much anymore about the Pro Bowl, but there are a few when they get voted in. But it's like,
didn't Drake May make the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, he was an alternate again. Like, way to make the flag Pro Bowl.
Yeah. But we were talking about this earlier. It was like, for the AFCs, like for tight ends, like John U. Smith was like third for tight ends and didn't make the Pro Bowl. He made it as an alternate because Travis Kelce led in all votes. And I'm like, he didn't have that great of a year.
Not really.
Well, why don't you date the most successful recording artist of all time, and then you can be in the fucking Pro Bowl.
Michael Jackson's dead.
Well, female, whatever.
Allegedly.
I hear
Allegedly.
Jay-Z break up with Beyonce. Janu, get in that shit, and you will make a Pro Bowl next year. You will be a part of the flag squad. You can be like Justin Jefferson with those big stupid ass fucking hands. It's a fucking clown show now. Like, just get rid of it.
He didn't mean it, Beyonce.
Queen Bee forever. I mean, let's be honest. Janu's probably better fucking looking than Jay-Z. Not as much money.
That's one goofy looking.
Not as much money as Hove, but younger.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want this beer.
The Bajancy.
Ask Aaliyah what it's like to cross Jay-Z. No way. You can't.
Oh, dark, twisted. Do you know who that is?
Who? What did he say?
Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Who is she, James?
Singer?
What has she sung?
I don't know.
Back to you, Cody.
I don't know what she's saying.
I don't know the names of the
I don't know
songs.
either.
I don't know what it is.
I just know Jay-Z liked her. And
Wasn't she the one? Was she the one that did the song with Ja Rule? Isn't that?
Nah, it's Ashanti.
Oh, that was Ashanti.
She's still alive.
They're still, yeah, both of those two are still alive.
They need to bring, Ja Rule's got to get back on some features, man. I'm missing that.
He just attacked.
What would I be without you?
He just attacked the wrong people like an idiot.
Yeah, like 50 Cent.
He tried to come.
Was he the one that 50 Cent bought all the front row seats for his concert
He
and just left them empty?
He bought like the first 8 rows.
But I've always
That is
wondered,
like the.
He came out to nothing.
But my thing is,
ultimate
I've
petty
always
move.
wondered how like a Ja Rule concert would go because you're just a feature. Like, I mean, I know he has songs maybe, but the main ones, it's like you're just a feature act. So it's like, do you just sing your little part and then
Like
it's a
DJ
record
Khaled?
playing
Yeah.
over?
It's like, has he ever done a concert? It's DJ Khaled! Alright, that's all I got, guys.
Another one.
Who we bringing out now? Well, we're
And
not
then
bringing out DJ
It's like
Khaled.
he just says another one, then he just waits.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just have somebody just come out and poke it when it's his time to speak.
Hey, you're up.
Another one.
I'm sure he has some people.
I'm
around.
sure that there's.
I don't want to pay the money to see.
No.
I feel like you can look that up online and just see how it goes.
That's a YouTube. That's a computer YouTube.
I mean, again, that's what the internet's for.
Yep.
Find out what Ja Rule and
Find out how a
DJ
Ja Rule
Khaled
concert
concerts
goes.
goes.
Get a Ja Rule experience. Someone's got to
Do a concert for the two of them. It'd be the most boring fucking concert ever. You have a feature and a guy who
Oh,
just
it's not
yells.
boring. They got bangers to where you're gonna be like, oh shit, but then you're gonna be like, half the time they don't do anything. He's just kind of standing there, waving his wife beater up and around. Not DJ Khaled. I'm talking about Ja Rule. No one wants to see DJ Khaled bouncing around.
Announce it for a year, and then be consistent. Say nobody else is coming out with these two guys.
And see how many
It's
people
like,
actually
they're
go.
not, they're not bringing anybody else with them. It's just these two doing a concert, and see how many tickets you sell. I want to know what the number would be.
But wasn't Ja Rule also like a part of that Fire Festival thing? Like he was an investor in that.
Oh, the one where they did it on the island and then nobody ever showed up? Just
No,
the
it's
people?
people bought tickets, but
That's what I'm saying.
then
The
they
people
got
showed up,
there,
but then,
and it was like
and then they got stranded.
they got handed like fucking sandwiches in a bag, and they're like, "Here you go. We
Here
paid
you go."
$500 for this."
Fire.
Have you seen the like Netflix special on that?
I have not. I've seen clips of it.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it is intense.
Wasn't there like one guy who was like primarily behind the whole thing?
There was like a couple.
Like he had people backing him, but it was like his idea and he pushed it. I can't remember.
Yeah, but there's like one dude there though that was like he was like we had to get water, and there was only one way for us to get water. And he's like, I suck that dick. He says that like I mean he's homosexual, so it's not like he was forced.
He wasn't crossing a bridge that he had never walked across.
Probably enjoyed it a little bit, so I'm not knocking him. But yeah,
It's like, sorry, Cody, you
he
have
just
to go put your dick in that to get some water.
No, he was like
Don't bend my
he was
arm.
like trying to get cases of water, and that was one of the
I mean, you got a whole
stipulations.
case.
That's one of the stipulations.
At least it wasn't like a bottle.
No, but he was part of like the event. He was like helping the promotion, and they were trying to get water. And I don't know how that got into the negotiations, but
Somebody just wrote it as a joke, right? That he has to suck dick.
yeah,
It was
there's
like,
no way the
what?
dude's gonna do it.
It's like, why does he do that? Who let Tim back in here?
Damn it, Tim! I gotta go on this meeting. If this dude has to, if this dude
Is this a
really
skit from
offers,
Jackass? Is this a skit from Jackass?
like, I'll just send Bobby. He loves that shit.
All right, where's Tim? All right, Tim, he signed it. So now what?
You said that one guy who's like, I could really go for a
Tim,
blowjob.
Tim,
It's
we
like,
can't
I
back
got
out.
you, buddy.
Tim, we can't back out on our
Yeah.
promise here, bud. We got to get this guy water, but he's got to do
I
it.
was like, all right, send him out.
Think about Cindy and the kids.
Gotta do some things I'm not proud of. I'm gonna get you that water.
This is gonna be something to put on the resume. I promise.
You're gonna make executive vice president after this. I promise, Tim.
You've already done more for this country than Biden did.
Can you put that on a resume?
He's just like, shh, it's okay, it's okay.
Just put executive VP of the Fire Festival on a resume. Who's
Oh,
gonna-
Biden would have probably hired him lickety split.
Are you gonna check it?
Like,
Is anybody
cool.
gonna check?
I'm gonna make you the head department of energy.
Head Department of. Is anybody gonna check that? If you
You're
do
our
a
party
resume?
planner.
This is.
Oh God.
I was once executive VP of the Fire Festival. I believe you.
Then,
You don't want to call? No, I don't need a number. Do you have a number? No, I don't need a number.
I mean, you could call it. It's gonna be like doo doo doo. Guess what? This number got disconnected. Although if you got, but
You call somebody and say, do you want a sandwich? We have more sandwiches.
you ready for Fire Festival 2? Jesus, what?
Listen, we ordered.
I'll text you a link.
We ordered like 40,000 sandwiches.
We got to get rid of these sandwiches.
We got to get rid of these sandwiches. You're the first person that's called in like 6 months. We have sandwiches.
Are these sandwiches like 6 months old?
No.
I just think it'd be funny in an interview. They'd just be looking at him and be like, "You're the dude that sucked the dick for water." That's me. Hey, how are you? I'm Tom.
How was that water?
Crisp.
Refreshing.
It's like, you want to know how pissed I was coming out and it was fucking Dasani? God
Dasani.
damn it.
Dasani.
It's like, oh, if you want Aquafina, you're going to have to do a little extra for that.
Add a little finger in there if you want some Aquafina.
Yeah. Speaking of, inappropriate blowjobs, Justin Tucker. What's happening there?
He's taking a page out of Sean Watson's book.
Does the entire, NFL think that massages are, happy ending massages?
Well, I don't think it's everybody.
It's like, hey, these are good for recovery. Relax, get some of your muscles worked out. And they're like, I know which muscle I want worked out. Calm down, kicker. We weren't even that good this year.
Well, to be fair, when it happened, he was early 20s. He was 22. It was his rookie year, all the way through his rookie contract. I'm like, okay, you're a young guy. You're a kicker. No one really knows who you are.
Yeah.
You're in Baltimore. It's a trash city. I'm sorry to say, but it's a big murder capital. So it's where do you find comfort? In massage parlors.
A massage parlor in Baltimore.
And apparently he got kicked out of a few of them. So I got a feeling he was hitting bottom of the top 10 on TripAdvisor near the end.
And then once he made an entrance, I'm sure those massage parlors probably gave him a call back. He was like, "Hey Justin, remember how we kicked you out? You come back now."
Who's got the 1 stars?
Yeah, those are the ones you want to go to.
Let me go to the 1 stars.
Which ones have very few reviews?
Which one's behind a house?
Come on, Cindy. You want your 5-star review? You got to get those back up. You're at 1.8 right now.
Yeah.
You need this 5-star review.
Got to bump up those numbers. But yeah, first I think it was 6, and then 3 or 4 more came out, and it's just good Lord, man.
He loved it.
Deshaun Watson sitting there going, man, that's nothing. Talk to me when you're in the 20s.
Those are rookie numbers.
You got to bump those numbers up.
Someone's made that meme already, right? They had to have.
They had to have.
Someone's had. If not, they are way behind.
Where's the Matthew McConaughey?
Got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. I'll look it up after this because it has to exist. It has to. We've missed the window because it's not as popular. Yeah. But someone had to have done it.
Oh, somebody did it the minute that all those came out. And when I say all, it was 6 initially. Where Deshaun Watson was 6, bro. I had 6 in the first hour.
6? That's a fucking Tuesday.
He just said that. What if he said that at a press conference? It's 6, that was it. It's I only did 6 every week.
Yeah, someone asked him.
Never mind. I was kicking field goals. They were good.
Really good.
Yeah, someone brought it up. So the 6 allegations. Oh, good. They were only 6.
Okay. Oh, thank God. They didn't hear about the others.
They didn't hear about that.
Justin, you're still mic'd up. Oh, God damn it.
Those are just the ones in Baltimore. We had a lot of road games.
You're saying it into the microphone.
No, I am not. I'm singing Ave Maria because I'm an amazing opera singer.
Yeah, that's do you think they?
I wonder what music he had in the massage. Was it opera? That'd be crazy. Maybe that's how he got him in there. At first, you just sang in a smooth baritone, and then it's okay. And then later, they're I didn't like his dick. It was all curved and weird.
Everything that you go by Tucker being going down as one of the greatest kickers in NFL history, and this happening, and then Deshaun Watson, who
I'm just wondering, on if he's still signed, he will be. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I just want to see how many Justin Tucker signs are going to be out and about at every game behind field goals, especially away games. That's going to be in his fucking head. And if I'm the announcer, or the not the announcer, you can't do that. But if you're the scoreboard, the camera guy, you find that Justin
zoom in and put it on the jumbotron,
and you throw it on the jumbotron right behind the fucking thing, and that's just staring him in the face fuck. You'll be missing 30 yarders, nothing.
And just tug that one a little to the left.
Oh, that's poor taste, Al.
Man, he did it. I'm just making
It's similar. Like, have you seen the one with the? I don't remember what fans it was for the away game where they had the LeBron James cut out and they had the razor shaving his head. They were getting rid of his bald spot. They also did it for Davis's unibrow.
Oh, jeez.
They had a cut out of him and they shaved his unibrow.
I mean,
You not seen it?
I mean, that's kind of his trademark.
It was hilarious though because they did it right behind the free throw, so it was just a giant cutout, and they had a giant cutout of our Clippers, and they were just like running across and with it shaving it off, and I was like, that's actually kind of funny. The LeBron James one was just them getting rid of his peach fuzz, whatever you want to call it, that he keeps on the top of his head. Which Bronny, he made his first three.
Bronny made his first three. Hell yeah.
His first three, his first bucket at Madison Square Garden.
What?
It was in garbage time. It looked like I didn't watch.
Everyone
the game,
has their best game at MSG.
Yeah. I mean,
no matter who it is.
It's just the Garden, man.
But speaking of NBA in general, the trades like Luka in LA.
Yeah, that's probably
That was the biggest
the
trade.
biggest
past 2 days
blockbuster
have
trade
been wild.
in probably NBA history, just because of how quiet it was.
Nobody knew about
No one knew
And it
except
dropped
for
at
2
midnight.
GMs. That's it, and then it's like, what?
I mean,
the
seeing
hell?
the players react like that were still playing when the trade happened, because the video of KD finding out when he like just happened to check his phone was just like. I mean, someone did point out that if Mark Cuban was still majority owner of Dallas, that trade doesn't happen.
Well, the majority owner laughed at it. When he presented the idea of the trade to the owner laughed at him, and he still did it anyway.
That just makes no sense. You get rid of
Jason Kidd
the
didn't know.
best
The
player.
coach didn't know.
Yeah, the coach didn't know. Jason Kidd's face in that the press conference, he was just like defeated. He was just like, "What do I have now?"
I would
I literally have nobody.
like saying like, what?
Palenka probably just answered the phone, just like, "You want what for what?"
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Put him on a plane right now. I know it's midnight. Put him on a plane. Send him here. We're fine.
I wonder what LeBron said when he found out.
I mean, I know he's at dinner at 10:30 at night. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, oh, is the shrimp not to your liking? So
I'm gonna sign him.
I mean, the other blockbuster was, Jimmy going to
the Warriors.
the Warriors, but
that wasn't really a blockbuster because Jimmy's just like, I want the fuck out of here
out of Miami.
bad.
but I just don't think it works
so
there.
bad. He's
There's
like,
talks of
suspend
them
me?
trying to bring
Cool.
KD
How many
back too.
days? 2?
Yeah,
All right, we got to
it's
bump
done
that up.
now.
They're what?
It's done now. It ended at like 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were trying to get
I think
KD.
4 is the deadline.
Yeah,
The Suns were like, no, we're not moving KD, but
but I was like, that wouldn't the Jimmy, Steph, and KD on a team. I don't think that would really work. They're not like their playing personalities. I don't think would.
no.
mesh
The
very
problem is, and again, like the whole KD thing, he does not know how to build a super team. He knows how to already go to a super team,
well.
but every single time he's tried to build a super team, it's gone to complete dog shit. Nets, dog shit. Suns, dog shit. When he was in the Thunder and you had 3 MVPs on one team, couldn't even, he sniffed one finals versus LeBron, he fucking swept you. So it's like, hey, what do I got to do to win? Oh, let me go to the team that's already won fucking twice. Let me just go there.
Was it a sweep or was it a gentleman's sweep?
Nah, it was 4-0.
It was 4-0?
It was 4-0.
I thought it was 1. I thought they got one game.
Nah,
Thunder?
I'm pretty sure it was 4-0 in the finals. I'll
And that's one team when you look back, you're like, wow, that was like one of the original super teams that wasn't even put together to be a super team.
That was just drafted.
That was
well.
just drafted well.
Like, hey, we suck so bad.
And then all 3
we're
went
gonna have
somewhere else.
we're gonna have a 2, a 3, and a 4 pick in back-to-back years.
And then didn't do anything with it. I mean, you could argue that LeBron doesn't know how to put a super team together either. They didn't fare so hot.
They got 2 championships in like 4 years. Made the finals like
Made the
every
finals
year.
all 4 years.
But
Then
they
he go-
got
then
their
he goes
butts
in-
kicked by Dallas.
Then he goes to Cleveland.
Dirk had a
Yeah, Dirk.
all-time-
Well, that's because they're like, hey,
And then they
Chris
lost
Bosh,
to-
why don't you
who's the
guard
other one? Was it
one of
Kobe
the
and
greatest
Paul?
forwards of all time?
Was it Kobe and Gasol that beat him the other time?
No, he never got to play Kobe. God, that would have been a fucking amazing.
Who'd they lose the other one to?
They lost to the fucking Spurs. One of the greatest
lost to one.
greatest dynasties
Yeah.
of all time. But then what happened? He went to Cleveland, built a super team with Kevin Love and Kyrie. Got to one. And he just ran to the buzzsaw of the Warriors, but still. And then goes to LA, builds, I guess, what you want to say, super team with AD. I feel like you need one more for it to be a super team.
I mean, he had aging superstars.
Yeah, but
He had some decent ones.
and then got a ring there. So it's like, no, LeBron knows how to build a super team and win. KD just like, hey, let's get all these people and it not mesh well, and then I'll leave in 2 years. And then it's your fucking problem because you traded all these things to get me.
I think it's funny, out of all the major sports, the NBA is the one where it's easy to put these super teams together. When it's...
Can I introduce you to the LA fucking Dodgers?
LA
It's very
Dodgers.
easy.
Wow.
If you're willing to cut a check, you can build any fucking team you want in those leagues.
But you don't hear it happening very often.
Well over $1 billion. Most every other place had salary cap and more than 5 players.
Yeah. Basketball, it's just... After the 90s, early 2000s, everybody was like, let's just put together super teams and see if we can win.
They were still doing it then.
I mean, who did it before?
Showtime Lakers. Traded for Kareem. The Bucks won the championship.
Sorry, I do apologize. It was a gentleman's sweep. They got one.
They got one. I thought they got.
I
thought they got one.
I thought they had a 4-0. That's
I thought
on
they
me.
got
I
one.
apologize. You know,
Alright.
that's what the internet's for.
That's what Wikipedia's for.
That is also true. People knock it, but goddamn it is glorious.
Wonderful thing.
Wikipedia is a wonderful thing. But they wouldn't let us use it as a resource in school. Bastards.
That's because it could be.
It could be edited, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I would
There's
do.
many
Well,
other
all you do is
resources.
you find the thing, and then you just go to the
Where they cited it.
where they cited it from.
You go to the thing and you do the thing and you
Super
recite the
fucking
thing
easy.
from the thing.
Yeah. Then you plug it into how to cite it properly into your.
Although to be
and
honest,
you put it on.
they don't care about citation.
No, they don't. They
There's
just
like-
want to see that you did.
There's like one
Yeah.
because I'll
I don't
put
think they
this.
actually checked.
I was
checking
in
myself.
I was in grad school and I cited a paper by Professor Aaron Donald from the University of Pittsburgh. Guess what? It passed. They don't give a rat's
it.
ass.
Aaron Donald's
I-
great on and off the field.
Well, it was just funny. I was like, you know what? This is a class I've already aced, and I'm like, I got enough sources, but I'm like, let me throw this. I needed one more source, and I was like, she just wants to see the fucking number. That's all it is. So I just grabbed a line that sounded like it could be cited from something, and then put it in. I was like, yeah, University of.
Texas City to the championship.
I was like, Professor Aaron Donald, University of Pittsburgh, and I like did some bullshit like title, and completely passed. There was like no issue whatsoever. I did it for no offense to the ladies. I did it in a woman's class. I was playing it smart.
She's probably like, who's Aaron Donald? This sounds like a
I was like,
smart
there's
guy.
no way you know who the Rams' defensive tackle is. So I'm like, I feel.
If she did, you would have been mildly impressed.
Oh God, I would have been like, you know what? That's fine. I'll let you give me a demotion on that. That's perfectly fine.
She calls you up for me. Donnie, did you know you quoted Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald? I did not.
I
But
feel like it's a
player.
very common name.
multi-time defensive player of the year. He was a professor. I saw him.
the guy's got 2 first names.
I saw him
very
speak.
common.
I saw him speak.
Yeah. So
I saw him on a podcast.
now he's in LA randomly as well. You know, people move. But yeah, no, they don't give a shit. It's a number, 1,000%. That's. I was just curious, and sure enough, it was one of my collusion things where it was just like, yeah, so you guys are full of shit, basically.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I guess to close it out, should we do some Super Bowl predictions?
Sure.
Sure can. Lead us off.
Well, I'd like to say Philly 31-28.
Ooh, keeping it close. Okay. Cody?
I'm gonna go Kansas City, and I'm gonna go 24-21, and I'm gonna go Kelsey retires at the end of it. Ooh, a little extra.
I'm going to go
3
Philly 2-0. One
That's
safety.
one
And
safety.
then it's just
Boring
boring
game.
as fuck. No, I'll go Philly. I'm going to say 35-31. That feels solid.
Who do you think gets MVP?
Harrison Butker.
Saquon.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Saquon.
God, please. That'd be
Oh my
fun.
God, here's some Butker.
Kick 10 fucking field goals to win, like Baronis did that one year.
I think Saquon gets MVP.
If it's anyone for Philly, it's Saquon. If it's anyone for Kansas City,
It's Pat.
Patty, or I would say, I can't say
Unless
anyone defensively because that Eagles line's pretty solid. I think they'll be able to maintain Chris Jones and all that.
unless you score twice and both of your scores are Travis Kelce, it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. And even then, they'd be like, well, he threw both.
Yeah. Unless Kelce threw one.
Ooh,
That's true.
But they
Philly
threw-
special.
But they threw it to Patrick Mahomes. Like, did you see the catch? It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Well, Collinsworth ain't on the take, so fucking Fox, so we're fine.
Collinsworth will be busy jacking off at home.
Oh, God.
It'll be a Super Bowl that I'm not.
Mahomes?
This one will be another one where I'm not like super invested, but I'll watch it, of course. But I'm not going to be like glued to the TV.
I'm just making cornbread and having some beers.
What?
I wish that was a joke. It's not.
Are you just gonna be at the house?
That's what was requested. No, I got a softball team throwing a party and they want me to make cornbread.
Jalapeno cornbread?
I
Jalapeno
just-
cheddar cornbread?
I make cheese cornbread.
Okay. You don't want to throw some jalapenos in there?
They like it.
Well, not jalapeno.
They can't. They don't like spicy.
Sounds like you need
So?
new friends.
They don't like spicy.
Are they all women? Or
It's a
Yeah, that's
softball. It's a softball team.
it's a co-ed softball.
Yeah, I was going to say it's co-ed.
There's a few lesbians. Tell them about your softball game. Tell them about your softball team.
Did y'all win, by the way?
Nope.
How bad you lose?
Pretty bad.
First round?
Like, what's a score?
How far did you make it in the playoffs?
We lost the first two.
So it's a double elimination?
So
You got the 1-2 punch in a
Yep,
two-game
yeah.
elimination.
in the men's we lost the first two and we're out. In the women's, in the co-ed we lost the first two and we were out.
Oh,
What
you
were
played
the
two different
combined-
leagues?
I played in 3 different leagues.
Jesus.
What were the
Christ,
scores
you're
of
just
those
a
games?
Softball whore.
One was like 15-3, and then one was like 13-10.
How many nights are you playing softball, man?
3,
What, Monday, Wednesday, and what?
4. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Bro, you need to get laid more.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why it's co-ed. That's why it's co-ed.
Trying to pull for the team.
Yeah.
To be fair.
You just said most of your women were lesbians.
To be
They could
fair.
be swung.
Not all of them, but to
Not
be fair.
all of them.
It's not wrong. I mean, I've done it. It sucked, but I did it. Didn't enjoy myself at all that entire time, but I did it.
It's a fun time. I mean, I've only lost the last 6 games. 6.
Terrible time for a losing streak.
I know, right? Playoffs. But to be fair, we were like the last place team going into that league.
So when you said we got playoffs, you were last place. You were expected to get kicked out of the beginning anyway.
We knew we were playing the number 1 seed.
So you're like, let's just
In-
chalk this up as an L.
Yeah, and in the co-ed, we knew we were playing the 1 seed. In the men's league, we were playing like the 5 seed, so we were playing this like 4 seed.
So you were in the middle.
Yeah, so we knew we'd be like we might lose, but we might not lose.
That one we got a shot at.
Yeah, and then we lost, so we played the team that lost the next game, which the like 8 seed upset the 1 seed, so we ended up playing the 1 seed, and then the 1 seed ran the table to win it.
The A seed did?
The 1 seed.
Oh, 1 seed did.
Yeah.
Oh, they said the A seed. I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm. The 8 seed beat the 1 seed, and was like sitting in like the championship game, or whatever the seed was the last.
And then the 1 seed went on
It
a
might have
tear
been
with
the
1
six-
loss and beat
yeah, it might have
everybody.
been like the 6 seed or something like that. Yeah, and then so the 1 seed came down and played us, beat us, and then went the rest of the way. Yeah, it was a lot.
Did they announce MVP yet?
No, they did Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's Jared Verse. Yeah, the only 2 left is Coach of the Year and Most Valuable Player. That's about it.
Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean.
Nope. Sorry.
Next time will be after the Super Bowl, I guess.
Whoop whoop.